I'll keep you my dirty little secret. Who has to know? By Bugabug 619. A Wonder Woman and Zatanna fic, rated explicit, with additional tags for established relationship, Wayne Gala, lesbian Diana, Wonder Woman, lesbian Zatanna Zatara, they are in love, Your Honor, Lois Lane being Lois Lane, porn with plot, body worship, girls in love, secret relationship, song, dirty little secret, All-American Rejects. I was inspired, okay? And other additional tags to be added. Summary. Wonder Woman and Zatanna Zatara have been invited to a Wayne Gala to appease the press's need to have some of the Justice League to be seen at one. Of course, they can't just show up together. The public doesn't know that they kiss sometimes. Or do they? Or there wasn't enough wonder magic, so I wrote my own. I appreciate you agreeing to this, Diana, Bruce says, handing her the formal invitation to the gala he wants her to appear at. The tabloids have been pestering me to get some of the JL to come to an event for months now. And I suppose you couldn't have Clark because of his day job? She replies, skimming over the guest list and dress code. Of course it's going to be a fancy event, and she has a traditional themysciran she's been meaning to wear. Plus, it looks like Zatanna will be there. It's not often Diana can be in the public eye with her partner, but she enjoys it when they can. Yes, he, Jimmy, and Lois are covering the event, he replies, leaning back against the wall. Otherwise, I would have asked him to make an appearance as Superman. He told me Perry was breathing down his neck about it. Perry seems like he's always breathing down Clark's neck, about something. She sighs, shaking her head in mild amusement. But I'll be there. You don't have to stay long. Just enough for the press to get their fill of Wonder Woman being at a Wayne Gala. I know how it works. After Bruce invited her to the gala, she told Zatanna that she would be there. Understandably, she was excited that they would both be at the same event. They don't typically get to do that unless Z is performing one of her shows. The event itself is about 2 days out, which gives her enough time to get the dress she wants to wear from Themyscira and complete some work before then. Hopefully nothing happens before or during it. Zeus knows that Batman's rogue gallery just loves to crash fancy events, for the sake of doing so. When the event rolls around, Diana doesn't really do much with her appearance. As long as she has her lasso, headpiece, and wrist cuffs, she's recognizable. Her dress is a pretty, flowy golden fabric that hugs her frame like it was molded to her body. It goes over her shoulders to tie around the back of her neck, leaving her with an almost uncovered back. There are chains that go across her back with the strings of a corset, but they have little beads dangling from them. The feeling can be annoying, but she can ignore it. Plus, the chains are removable. Her shoes are just a simple pair of short heels, with straps that go up her legs. For her makeup and jewelry, she keeps it relatively simple. Just regular pearl earrings, a nice red lip, and a light foundation with mascara to bring out her eyes. When she's added the finishing touches, she comes out of the bathroom to look at herself in the full-length mirror in her bedroom. "Darling, how do I look?" Diana prompts, raising an eyebrow to where Zatanna is getting herself ready. "Stunning, as per usual," she hums, doing her eyeliner with a steady hand. Zatanna is wearing a deep blue dress to the event, with her usual knee-high black boots and fishnet tights underneath. Her makeup is what she usually wears when she goes out, and she's replaced her top hat with a smaller one, with an arrangement of flowers on it. "It's a shame we couldn't go as a couple," Diana says, making sure her curly hair looks somewhat neat. "I'd love to show you off." "I know you would, but you know how gossipy the press can get," she says, rolling her eyes at Diana through the vanity mirror. "Especially Vicky Vale. You know how she can be." "Oh, I am very well aware," the Amazon scoffs. Diana has met Miss Vale in the past, when she's gone to a gala, but she never liked the woman. While she is an objectively attractive woman, Diana never really liked her personality. She'd be flirting with any man within a 10-foot radius, while putting down any woman she gets her filthy claws on. She can admit that Vicky is a good writer, however, but the columns she normally writes are gossipy and pretentious. "I don't like her either," Z says, as if she can read Diana's mind. "Way too snobby. Exactly why I prefer to do my interviews with Lois or Clark." Diana huffs, grabbing a matching handbag. When should we get there? Zatanna asks, checking her phone. I'd say half an hour after one another, Diana hums, putting items in her bag that she might need. If we arrive around the same time, they might get the wrong idea, or the right one, depending on how you look at it. True, Zatanna agrees, grabbing her own purse. And I think the invite listed a few other members as well, right? It did, yes. I believe Arthur and his wife are attending, but I'm not certain. In any case, I think we should get going. I'll see you there. Like they had planned, Diana arrives about half an hour before her partner does. As she suspected, Arthur and Mira were there before she was, dressed in Atlantean formal wear. Oliver and Dinah were there as well, chatting idly with Kendra. She just has on her regular hero uniform, as it's easier than finding something that would fit her wings. Diana, Arthur greets, smiling. You look amazing, as always. As do you two, she replies, taking a flute of champagne from a passing waiter. Where is Zatanna? Mira asks, sipping her drink. She'll be here soon, Diana says. We didn't want to come together, for fear of the press getting the wrong idea. Especially since Vicky Vale is attending. Mira scoffs, expression souring. Last time I went to a gala like this, there was a gossip column that speculated that I was having an affair with Oliver. I remember that one, Diana hums, chuckling. You were so upset about it. You scheduled an interview with Lois the very next day. At least I cleaned up the rumors. She huffs, and laughs along with her. Wonder Woman, Oliver greets, striding over with a grin on his face and a glass of wine in hand. What a pleasant surprise to see you here. Your name wasn't on the guest list. I wasn't sure if I'd make it, so he didn't, just in case, she replies, chuckling at his feigned enthusiasm. Ah, that explains it, he says, taking a sip of his wine. But it's nice to see a prestigious hero, such as yourself, at an event like this. Makes it feel less boring, I guess. Said in the presence of other royalty, she retorts playfully. They come to these things more often, he dismisses, waving a flippant hand. As they continue speaking, the ballroom begins to fill up with more and more guests, some of which Diana knows in passing, but others she's never seen or heard of before. But they're all rich and greedy, people that Diana doesn't want to associate herself with. Her time glowering at the snobs gets interrupted when she spots Z, however. She looks stunning in the bright lights of the gala, eyes sparkling and her features glowing. Diana will never get tired of seeing her all dressed up like that. Her hair is like a molten midnight sky, light glimmering off of it, like the stars that could never rival her radiance. The tresses frame her face like it was a priceless painting in the most prestigious museum in the world. Or perhaps Diana would rather her be somewhere that only she could gaze upon her absolute beauty. You're staring, a voice says, snapping her out of the trance she fell into. The voice belongs to Lois Lane, Clark Kent's wife and co-worker. I am allowed to stare at my own partner. Diana huffs, though there isn't much of anything behind it. Why haven't you gone public with it? Lois asks, curious. I mean, you two work together pretty often, so it's not like you're complete strangers. And I know damn well that you really want to stay right next to her every time you two attend these things. Rumors about us would spread like wildfire. Diana scoffs, taking a sip of her drink. It was champagne, but she's since switched it out for sparkling water. You know people ship you two already, right? Diana blinks, Lois's words sinking in. What? People on the internet think you two have way too much chemistry to be only friends. Lois continues, an almost mischievous note coloring her tone. You're both strong, built women who don't take anything a man says seriously, and you work wonderfully together. Plus, it would most likely give you a ton of good publicity, don't you think? The demi-goddess goes quiet, mulling over what Lois has told her. Diana would love to be seen in public with her without having to worry about how they may be perceived. She'd have to talk to her about it, of course, but it certainly is enticing. People on the internet ship us, Diana echoes, rolling the word around in her mouth. It pretty much means that people wish you two would just get together already, she supplies helpfully, tilting her head at the taller woman. You seem like you're considering something. I'll have to talk to her about this, she says finally, downing the rest of her sparkling water. You'll have to thank me later, Lois says, before walking off into the crowd to keep doing her job. I'd apologize for pulling you away, but I don't think you're complaining. Diana breathes, running her lips over her lover's perfect neck. I never do, she retorts, hands skimming Diana's open back. Do you know how pretty you look in this? The Amazonian continues, voice reverent. I don't want to take my eyes off of you for fear of losing you in the crowd. I can say the same for you, she replies, leaning into the touch of Diana's calloused hands. You know, being a demi-goddess and all. And despite that, Aphrodite still blessed you. I should thank her next time I see her. If Zatanna wasn't being pinned to the wall, she'd be giggling and kicking her feet. She always loved the way Diana flirted with her, and it never failed to make her stomach flutter with rogue butterflies. She feels a hand skim her side and down to the slit in her dress, a shiver rolling up her spine at the feeling of her calloused hands on her skin. I think we should go somewhere more out of sight, don't you think? Diana practically purrs, voice low. Zatanna doesn't even get to unzip her boots before Diana is pouncing on her. Hands explore bodies they've already memorized, mouths trying to fight for dominance. Z's hat slips from her head, but she can't bring herself to care. She has an Amazonian to pay attention to. Help me out of this, would you? Diana pants, pulling away just enough to speak. Of course. Diana turns around and she gets to work helping her undo her dress. She litters kisses up her spine as she goes, like she can't help but taste the bronze skin. There aren't very many blemishes on her skin because of her invulnerability, but there are a few lines, here and there, from healed-over injuries. Zatanna has memorized the placement of each one, and makes it a point to pay special attention to each one of them when she gets the chance. As soon as she unclasps the last chain on the back of Diana's dress, the woman turns around and backs her into the bed behind them. When the back of her knees hit the mattress, she goes easily, tucking Diana down with her by the shoulders. Have I ever told you that you look absolutely sinful in this dress? Diana says, opening up the front of it with nimble fingers. I could have assumed, Zatanna replies, getting her greedy hands on Diana's toned body. It was like she was sculpted directly from marble. She's incredibly muscular, yes, but not so much that you can see every fiber of flesh under her skin. And don't even get her started on those arms. She wants to bite them. Diana finally gets her dress undone, sliding the fabric down her body and leaving it on the floor to deal with later. While she's down there, she removes Z's boots and fishnet tights, maintaining eye contact throughout. She sets the boots beside the bed, hands skating along the length of Zatanna's toned legs. Beautiful, she whispers reverently, pressing hot kisses to the inside of her legs, just barely skating where she really wants her. Zatanna lets her head fall back, eyes fluttering shut. God, she'll never get enough of this. Diana crawls up the bed once she's gotten her fill of her legs, tongue trailing up her navel. It leaves a path of goose flesh. The magician's lungs squeeze out their air in a breathy whine. Stop teasing, Zatanna pants, glaring weakly at the other woman. I'm not. It's called foreplay, lovely. Diana retorts, pressing a sweet kiss to her cheek. As much as I love it, I need someone or something to do something to me. Impatient. Despite Diana's teasing, she decides to spare her girlfriend and give her what she wants. She claims her lips in a searing kiss, tongue licking into her mouth like it's her 9 to 5. At the same time, she straddles her hips with thighs that could kill a man. They probably have. Realistically. Zatanna's eyes roll back at the weight that settles on top of her, her own hands reaching down to get a feel of those lethal legs of hers. Already so wet. Diana taunts, pulling away to let Zatanna breathe. Don't tell me you've been waiting all night for me to make a move. I've wanted to pounce on you since you came out of the bathroom at home, Z blurts, pupils swallowing the bright blue of her irises. How did I get so lucky? Diana leans down to suck a mark into the soft flesh of her neck, the movement shifting their clits to press together. Z hisses through her teeth at the sensation, shuddering hard. Diana is just as wet as she is. It's a wonder how she can keep herself together while she's over here panting like a dog in heat. The hand that isn't keeping her upright is touching her magician wherever she can reach without her lips leaving her neck. Her ass, her thighs, her tits, anything she can reach. Her hand is there. Teasing, touching, leaving marks in the shape of her nails. Everywhere except where they both want it to be. It really is a shame that she didn't have her strap with her, but she can make do just fine without it. "Diana," Z whines, and she can feel her lightly trembling. Her thighs are tense with restraint, as if she's trying not to buck her swollen clit into Diana's. It's a bit cute, she thinks cruelly. "Diana, please. I can't. I don't know how much longer I'll last if you don't do anything." "I know," the demi-goddess coos, grinding against her one time, just to see her squirm. "But I quite like how desperate you are right now. Diana, my love, I need you to fuck me before I lose it, I swear to God." She doesn't need any more convincing. Diana leaves another bite mark before attaching their mouths again, shifting her legs so they're more firmly pressed together. Chest to chest, clit to clit. Zatanna tries her hardest to rub against her, but the way Diana has her pinned is prohibiting the movements. She can tell she's getting frustrated, so she decides to give her a bit of mercy by grinding against her. The long whine she gets is absolutely heavenly, and not to mention how well it pairs with the sound of their slick. "How many rounds do you think we can go before someone comes looking for us?" Diana asks, palming one of her tits just to feel the flesh under her hand. "Stop asking me things when I'm horny." Zatanna grits out, nails clawing at her back. "I can't help it," she hums, grinding in circles now. "You always give the best responses." It doesn't take long before Zatanna's over the edge, clenching around nothing and curling up towards Diana. She lets her ride it out, murmuring praises until she comes back down to earth. "Are you back with me, my love?" Diana hums, stroking the back of her head. "I think so," she pants, opening her eyes upon realizing she's closed them. "Good. Did you... well, you were somewhere else," Diana assures, pressing a sweet kiss to her temple. "No need to worry." "Okay," Zatanna says, leaning into it. "Should we go back out there?" "We don't have to," Diana hums, getting off her girlfriend, but she still keeps close. "I can ask Bruce to show us a back entrance so we can go home without being seen together." "I really don't want to move, though," Z complains, rolling over and plastering herself to Diana's side. "And this bed is stupidly comfortable. Can we ask him to get one for us?" "I forget how chatty you are after sex," Diana muses, amused. "But I can ask where he got one the next time I see him." "That would be nice." Zatanna yawns, pressing her face into her side. "Take a nap, my love. I'll wake you when it's time to leave." "'Kay." I can't believe that Vicky's still got her damn gossip column. Zatanna grouses, rolling her eyes as she skims over the article on her phone. I mean, everything she wrote was pulled straight out of her ass. To be fair, you two weren't exactly subtle about slipping out of the party. Green Arrow teases, leaning back in his chair and kicking his feet up onto the table. "What is she saying anyway?" Barry asks, peering over her shoulder. "Hopefully nothing about anyone having an affair." Diana scoffs, not looking up from the paperwork she's doing. "Some speculations about you and Lois, but she shoots the idea in favor of saying we might be together," Zatanna relays, scrolling through the article with a huff. "Honestly, how can a reporter be so dumb?" "What do I hear about reporters being dumb?" Clark steps into the room holding a small pile of paper, eyebrow raised in confusion. "Not you, Clark," Z assures, handing her phone over to Barry so he stops breathing down her neck. "Vicky Vale wrote another gossip piece about Diana and I." "That's what, the fifth one?" he says, handing the papers to said woman. "She's stubborn, I'll give her that." "Why don't you just go public?" Barry asks, handing it back. "I mean, it would save you guys a lot of trouble in the long run, no?" Diana glances at Zatanna, who looks like she's considering doing just that. On one hand, it would save them the headache of having to dispel any rumors about the two, as they would be proven true. On the other, stories like this blow over pretty quickly. It wouldn't be hard to lay low until it does. Inconvenient, maybe, but not difficult. It's been about a week since the gala, but Diana has a feeling Vicky will absolutely drag it out until the horse is 6 feet under. Even then, she wouldn't be surprised if it were dug up again. She can see the reporters showing up at every public appearance she can. Yeah, just release a statement and call it a day. Oliver adds, Dinah and I did it not long after we got married. People forgot about it in like a month. Which outlet gets more reads? Diana asks Clark. They don't like to admit it, but Daily Planet typically does. He replies, taking a seat at the table. I have a colleague in the Daily Bugle as well, if you want to do multiple releases. We'll start drafting, Diana says, looking at the magician to make sure they're on the same page. She nods, and Diana can already see her beautiful mind at work. We'll let you know when it's done. Perfect. Metropolis News 8. Headline: Wonder Woman and famous magician Zatanna Zatara release statement. We have a happy romantic and work relationship. In other news, this morning, Wonder Woman, in collaboration with Zatanna Zatara, released a statement on Twitter regarding their speculated relationship with each other. The news anchor, Lois Lane, says, tapping a small stack of papers on her desk to straighten them. Both heroes have come out to say that they have been in a romantic relationship for some time. Now, the Gotham Gazette reporter Vicky Vale has written a few columns on this subject already. However, neither woman ever confirmed nor denied the rumors. What made them decide to do this now? The press isn't sure, but despite the suddenness of the announcement, I can confidently say, on behalf of all of us here at the Daily Planet, we wish both of you a happy and prosperous relationship. Diana turns the TV off once the segment is over, relaxing back into the couch. I'm glad we got that out of the way, she sighs, pulling Zatanna into her side. Me too, she agrees, resting her head on her shoulder. Now, we don't have to go to events at separate times. We don't have to do a lot of things, she chuckles. And Lois did a good job on the announcement herself. I don't think I could have said it better. We should thank her next time we see her, Z says, taking a sip of her hot cocoa. Perhaps I can make her those pastries she enjoys so much. Diana muses, mulling it over. Oh, she'd love that, she agrees, nodding. Honestly, she'd probably sacrifice a limb for them. I know I would. I'll get to work on those tomorrow. Diana chuckles. For now, let us enjoy trashy reality television and hot chocolate. Notes. Let me know if I missed any tags. I'm not good at tagging smut, let alone Yuri. As I expect to have people say, I missed things. I won't be upset if you do. Just don't be a meanie about it. Anyway, I enjoyed writing this. Especially the news segment part. I love Lois Lane and Diana's relationship a lot, as you can tell. Let me know if there's anything you want to see. I have a list of ideas about what to write already, but I'm totally open to adding more. I might take a small break to write for a different fandom. Cough cough, Resident Evil, cough cough. So stay on the lookout for that. Thank you for reading. If you enjoyed this fic, go down to the description below and follow the link to the author's original work. Leave them many comments and kudos. If you enjoyed my reading, you can subscribe if you want. Or, go down to the comments below and tell me what else I should read. I'm slightly partial to Yuri. Thank you for listening. Whoa, that's a line that I have to read out loud.